All right, you got us live on Fly on the Wall Productions on Facebook and YouTube and streamed everywhere. You get your podcasts and on the web at airedoutvt.com. I want to say thanks to Bobby Bartlett over at State Farm. Whether it's business or health or bank or life insurance or home insurance, auto, doesn't matter. Get in touch with them over there, 802-479-3353. We've been talking about how auto insurance is up 19% over the last year, according to the Consumer Price Index. Bobby and I are going to be getting together and kind of breaking this down a little bit very, very soon, and I'm going to be sharing with you my policy information over at State Farm and what he has done for me, which is a ton of stuff. That's going to be coming up very soon. I promise you, even though we're talking about insurance, that we're going to have a whole hell of a lot of fun doing it. This is the biggest annual increase since 1976. So there's good reason why people are complaining about their cost of auto insurance right now. So. What's that now?
Is it almost time for you to take your little reader out of your car?
No, I still have that in there.
How long do you keep it in?
Well, it's a beacon. It's a beacon, and it's tracking. I get a discount.
You're not going to get a discount. We've discussed this many times. Your rate's going up, buddy.
It's a GPS beacon that's in my car all the time, and it's tracking things like speed. Braking. Turning.
Tailgating by chance?
Not tailgating. Cornering. All of these things.
Talking and texting? I mean, on the phone while you're driving?
Nobody can see me. They can't see, and they can't hear me.
So you think?
That's what Bobby says.
Just
they can't.
Tell you
they
that.
can't hear, and they can't see anything that's going on in my car. Thank God, because they hear a lot of ripping in the morning. Today is National Baklava Day today. Raylene, do you have any other national days?
I actually have different than you. I have National Butter Day.
Okay.
That's what the national day said for me.
All right.
And it said National. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I don't remember. National Butter Day and something else. I can't remember.
I know. It's a whole bunch of shit anyways.
Yeah.
It is the 17th. We're going to give you details from Roger Hill in a second, but while we're doing that, I want to say that tonight is going to be a great night to get over to the Den. DJ Bay 6 is going to be taking the stage at 8 o'clock tonight, so get over there and tear it up. Get crazy.
Yeah. Get some food. Have some dinner.
Yeah. I'm not saying get, naked.
Couple drinks.
Yeah, keep your clothes on,
yeah.
But have fun. If you want to push the boundaries, try not to get arrested.
If you want to push the boundaries, go to Montreal.
Exactly. But, as you say, belly up to the bar, dance the night away, play some pool, have some fun, relax, and get over there. Vermont headlines this morning. Vermont police have made an arrest in a month-long drug trafficking investigation that involved multiple law enforcement agencies. Umar Kuhn, 45 years old. Where's he from? Bronx, New York. Shocker. Arrested in Burlington and apparently resisted arrest, took off from police, eventually taken into custody, and he distributed fentanyl and cocaine in Burlington, $22,000 worth of drugs, and a gun. So there you go. Umar Kuhn.
$22,000 worth of cocaine. $25,000 is the bail. The amounts of that he had, the street value of.
Oh yeah.
Like a crazy amount.
Yeah. Umar, please leave our state. I could have said, get the fuck out of here, but I was so nice about it, though, wasn't I? Mm-hmm. We have a Texas jury on Thursday that convicted a woman of murder in the 2022 shooting death of rising professional cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson, a case that led investigators on this 43-day international search for the killer, Caitlin Armstrong, 35. Raylene posted up the story this morning as it was breaking. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter about this for quite a while, but the news this morning, she faces a penalty of up to life in prison. The sentencing phase of the trial is going to continue today. What a bizarre. What was this, like a love triangle, like a jealous rage thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she saw her lover with a man having dinner with a man. This
is unbelievable.
And then she killed her.
There's probably going to be a movie about this. I mean, it's really I don't know. In ways, this is a really intense story here, at least for New England, and that it's made international headlines. So, we have a public hearing about rules that are going to be underway Friday for how Vermont approves independent schools, and in this proposed new language is going to require independent schools to adopt the same principles of inclusiveness and anti-discrimination as public schools. You can read more about this story. We're going to have, it's already on the page, as Raylene posted up this morning, but this new criteria also is adding language that in-school exclusion of any kind, such as race, ethnicity, skin color, gender identification, religion, all should be rejected. A lot of people are going to have a lot of opinions about this story, and
of course,
before you react, we encourage you to get on the story. WCAX has got it. Get on our page and read it.
You know what we did not do? Or did you do it? Did you check in with Logan yesterday?
I didn't. Because
you were a space cadet?
No. I actually texted him and postponed. But I know there's a lot going on with sports and Sunday games. There's a ton of stuff.
I was just all of a sudden thinking about, I wonder what the hell's going on in football.
No, there's a lot going on.
So I thought maybe I better backtrack.
Well, maybe we'll call him this morning.
You never know.
Do you think he'll answer if we call him? Well,
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll try him. We'll try him this morning. Capitol Showplace Theater opens tonight. Very exciting. The Hunger Games is playing along with Priscilla and Napoleon. Paramount Twin has got Trolls band together. Went last night. Took the girls. What an amazing movie Trolls was. I have absolutely no idea what any of it was about. Lily loved it. Sherilyn loved it. That's all I know. That's all I care about. That really. I just sat there and ate the popcorn and thinking to myself,
zoned out.
What the hell is this all about? The Marvels is also playing. It's going to be a great weekend to catch a movie. Matinees, yes. I want to mention there's so much going on in national news. George Santos and all of this. I don't give a shit about any of that. I mean, if you want to read about it, just
go ahead.
Pull your phone up. But there's more important things going on here in Vermont. Like tonight, shortly after 5 o'clock, I'm going to be plugged in, streaming live at one of our presenting sponsors, William Ravies in Barrie, along with Dan Moland of Enough Ministries, explaining how you can make a difference this Christmas for a local child. That'll be just after 5 o'clock tonight. I'm excited about it. Yes, we're diving into a little bit of a community calendar here because we have Chris Powers, who's going to come on here in a second. But Senior Center has their pie sale going on tomorrow at Kinney Drugs. We have Waits River School with their big holiday bazaar.
There are several
That's
craft
tomorrow.
Fairs this weekend.
So many.
Yeah, they're all pinned to the top of the page. Including that one.
Including that one and the 10th annual Barrie Elks Falling into the Holidays, which is free to get in at the Elks, both Saturday and Sunday. And it's going on all day from 9 to 3. Also, very important here, a huge shout out to Barrie City Elementary and Middle School. They just donated 20 large, heavy boxes of food for Pack the Pantry Food and Funds Drive, which is started yesterday. No, day before yesterday.
Day before.
Thursday. over at Price Chopper. Everyone knows where Price Chopper is. So you have no excuse. Get over there, and even one can of anything non-perishable. They've got a 53-foot-long Bellavance truck that they're going to fill, and apparently they are just under a quarter of the way filled. So please bring some cans, some pasta, some rice, whatever you can. They're down there out in the cold collecting food for the Salvation Army right on Keith Ave in Barrie. To fill that pantry, the shelves of that pantry, for an entire year, which is absolutely remarkable that they can do that in the matter of just a couple of days. So, yeah, get over there. There's no hours. I mean, they're going to be there until the truck is full. That's the bottom line. We're also going to be talking about volunteers needed to help light up the city of Barrie. Raylene is posting that up a lot. The 17th, which is today at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're looking for volunteers to help string up some lights on the light poles on North Main Street, and then again on Friday the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving, at 10 a.m. They're going to be doing it. So,
Yep.
Let's introduce this guy right next to you. Dude, thank you so much for. What time did you leave your house this morning, Chris Powers?
7 a.m.
Woo!
Woof.
That's tough for a rock star like you, dude. Kind of.
You'd think so, but I'm an early riser. I'm an early riser most of the time.
Isn't this amazing that we have him here this morning, Raylene?
I think so.
So freaking
I'm stoked to be here. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you for being here,
Absolutely.
man.
You know who's over here loving up on him?
Let me guess. It's got to be Oliver.
No, it's McCormick.
McCormick?
Yes, that's what I said. He's usually absolutely petrified of men.
Yeah.
He's like jumped up on Chris.
What
I
is
love
that?
dogs.
What is this? The pheromones? What's happening
What
here?
the
Honestly,
heck?
I have a beautiful female golden retriever at home. And
That's what it is.
she is beautiful, too, so that's probably what's going on here.
Dude, wait, so obviously we're going to talk about you're playing at Gusto's tonight. We're going to get into that and everything. But where you say at home? So where is home? Is home Florida? Is home here in the North Country?
Home, like original home. Like there's no place like home is here in the North Country.
All right,
A little bit less north than here, but
Okay.
still north. New Hampshire.
New
but,
Hampshire.
Yeah, that's currently where I'm at.
Is that where Mom and Dad are?
No, that's just where me and my now wife
Yes.
live. Yeah, it's been 2023 has been crazy.
Yes, it has.
I've had a lot going on. That's just where I'm kind of from that area. I'm from the Upper Valley area. I'm originally from like Lebanon, New Hampshire,
Yeah.
and I just kind of have never left the outskirts.
Okay.
Although I have left, I just
Yes.
come back. So
First of all, congratulations on getting married.
thank
Yes.
you very much,
I got to tell you, what's your wife's name?
Hannah.
I have not met Hannah. Have you, Raylene?
No, I have not. I just see lots of posts and pictures, and she looks like a beautiful lady.
She is a beautiful
who
lady.
very much supports this guy
That's what I was going to say. He is
in
very.
his craziness.
Chris is very very lucky.
Very lucky.
Very
He
lucky.
is.
Because you guys started out as just like really 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 good friends, which is, not to get all like super personal here, but I mean that's the foundation, brother,
Absolutely.
Yeah, super cool.
right there.
Absolutely.
Like legit good friends.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna just screw it all up,
Yeah, totally.
right?
By driving her nuts every day and
Sure, but for a musician who makes a living off of his music, to be partnered up with someone who first and foremost understands that and just understands that passion and relates to it and knows what she's getting into, that's cool as hell, man.
yeah, I just tell everybody like she knows. She knows that I got her back. She also knows that I gotta do this.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's who you are,
Absolutely.
and it's always who you'll be.
Yep.
In the future, you're a singer. You're a songwriter. You
Am I?
Yes, you are.
you're just like, and I speak with others. not, I mean, just Chad Hollister, Chris Dagnese, so many others. And we say, oh my God, dude, look at this guy's schedule. Raylene and I have said that so many times in
Yeah,
there.
it's packed.
It's packed. Always packed. It's not packed for just the summer.
We need to get him over to Jerry's
I'm a busybody.
and the Den. Like
and
both
the Den,
places.
man. Yeah.
Both places.
Sure. Can we do that? You can do that.
Of course. Well, he's already been in contact with the Den, but we got to get him in contact with Tina over at Jerry's.
Yeah, and they love you at Gusto's, and good reason, man. It's like
I love Gusto's. I love
you
coming
love
up here.
Gusto's. You bring the goods.
Yeah, I don't play a ton of places up this far anymore. There's
Yeah.
only a small handful, but
Yeah.
Gusto's is definitely one of them.
Have you had a chance to see what Jazz is up to? Jasmine White.
I've kind of been paying attention as far as social media goes.
Yeah.
The Heartless thing
Heartless
is just
tribute
blowing
to
up
Ann
more
Wilson.
and more.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, I don't know. They're just incredible.
Yep,
They
absolutely.
just got finished with a huge tour, and they're just running around everywhere. Let's talk about what. So you're getting ready to set sail here for a warmer climate.
Actually, I just got back.
What?
I joined actually, I don't know about joined. I was offered to go out with a fairly well-known national act, and just got back from my first 2-week real touring experience. Ironically, it started in Florida.
Tell us all about that.
So I go out with a guy. If you don't know him, his name is Rob Benton. He is probably most known for being on, I think, season 4 of America's Got Talent. If you've seen my show, it's similar to his show, but his is on steroids. He calls it basically a UFC fight on a guitar, which it is, because if you go see him, it's mind-boggling. And he's become a good friend and a pretty good mentor as well, and offered me a job going out opening his show, amongst other jobs on the road. And
Did you poop yourself a little bit when he asked you to do that?
yeah, so it kind of it's a funny story the way it started. A gig got canceled, which normally kind of sucks, over the summer, and he was in town, and I went to see him. I went to see him play, and he that night was like, "Oh, you're not playing." I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, do you want to open tonight?" And that's how that happened. And by the next week, we were on the phone chatting about doing it more often on the road.
That's awesome.
But that was your kind of your interview when you stepped up on stage that night. You had to get it right, because if it wasn't right, he wouldn't have asked you to do that.
Absolutely. And we started in Daytona, and we ended in Key West for a week.
Damn.
On my first 2-week run, it was not bad at all, to be completely honest with you.
Wow.
Where are you going next?
So actually, I'm here for 2 weeks, and then me and my wife leave for what would be our normal winter trip.
Yeah.
It's going to be shortened this year because the touring offer is kind of for the foreseeable future, so I'll be on and off the road regularly, and then be back here in the Northeast when I'm not doing that. So we will be gone for December, and then by the new year, I will either be here or on the road.
Have there been times of frustration and or discouragement when you've been kind of waiting for a little bit of a break, for similar to this over the years?
Over the years, this morning, like, I am in this area where the last 2 weeks I've been on cloud 10. And don't get me wrong, I love coming home. I've got shows when I come home, but there's just different things that definitely, like, test you well. But at the same time, I'm here sitting with you guys. I just got off the road with one of my heroes for 2 weeks, and usually it all works out. So
is that a wrap with Benton?
oh no,
Okay.
2024. I mean, his year 2024 is gonna be crazy. Mine's gonna be probably 75% as crazy, just because of him and going out on the road and seeing different places and opening shows. And
Is your car going to be able to keep up with the miles that you're going to be putting on?
there no need to worry. He takes care of the transportation.
Wow.
Which is wonderful.
Yes, it's a good change of pace. It's a little bit of an eye opening into like the next level. Mm-hmm. So,
How does Hannah? How is she involved? What does she do? What does she do for a living?
she currently is just a server, actually, at one of the places I play in Grantham, New Hampshire. Okay. We're close friends that own the restaurant, so it's a pretty good situation for her. Before that, like when she goes to Florida, she's a flower girl, so she works at flower shops. And on the side here at home, she does wedding flowers and different events and stuff. So luckily, the people that she works for right now at the restaurant, I play for, so they know.
Sure.
They know we're about to take off. They also know it's going to be well less than it normally is, so they had no problem in giving her 30 days to be like, hey, we're
Right.
out of here for 30 days, but she'll be back come the new year. So,
But you can you can get so many more gigs when you're transitioning into a climate where more and more people are living the lifestyle of loosey goosey, having fun, getting outside, wearing a t-shirt. Is that why you go south?
yeah. I also hate being cold.
Yeah.
I would rather sweat than shiver any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Raylene, how did we find out about Chris? Was it you that was like, dude, there's this guy, Chris Powers?
Well, I saw him at Gusto's.
And that was, all right.
And then I don't really know.
I don't really know either. I remember
think-
you guys contacting me to do
Yeah,
the
I think
podcast
I
the
just
first time.
Yeah, after I saw you the first time, I was like, I came in and I told you we got to get this.
You know
guy
what I
in
think
here.
it might have had something to do with is what is the concert in the park every summer?
Oh, yeah.
I did that one
Right,
year.
and that's where I was. That's where I was the concert
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
night. It was I still have the videos
Yep.
from that night actually.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
that might have been what.
That's actually what it was.
It's one of us. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, we gotta
get
do
guy
this."
on. And I remembered that you were like, we have to get this guy on the air. We have to. Dude, how does it feel to have you've been in the studio, you got an album out now? I mean, people, how can people listen to your music? What's the
Anywhere.
best?
You can go on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. You can illegally download it if you want. I mean, either way, as long as you're listening.
I have it on Spotify.
Yeah, you can find it on any music platform. I actually also released a new single in April, and then aiming for another new single for like January. It's all recorded. It just needs to be fine-tuned and dolled up. And
Tell us about it.
I threw together a song while I was on my Florida trip with a friend that I record with down there last year, and it with everybody's schedules and whatever, it took until right before I left for tour a couple of weeks ago. I was in the studio in Randolph and laid everything down, and it should be out for early 2024. So
Where do you like to record?
underground studio in Randolph, Vermont. Vincent's the man.
Yeah. God, I was just talking with somebody yesterday about that studio.
Yeah, Vincent's the man.
Jeez.
He has done everything that I've put out so far, and the quality just gets better. So
I really like the song "Ends Meet." That cranks in my car quite often.
thank you very much.
I sent you a picture of it the other
Yeah,
day because it
yeah.
was on, and I'm like, I'm gonna show Chris
Local
what's
legend,
what's
both
on,
there on that one.
what's on right now. But I love to hear you do that.
Thank you. I will. Maybe we'll throw. You guys gonna come out tonight to Gusto's?
I am.
Cool. Maybe I'll throw it down there.
Who knows if I'm going to be over at William Ravi's, but
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, he starts at 6.
yeah.
So you have plenty of
So
time.
you're going to play 6 till 8.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. You do. We're going to talk about our recent Veterans Day here in just a little bit, and some music that you have written that hits the heart of veterans everywhere.
Yeah.
But first, though, it's The only complaint I think I have is that at 8, I mean, you always want to leave people wanting more, but at like 8 o'clock, we want some more Chris Powers. I mean,
We're actually at Gusto's working on that for 2024 to where maybe I'll have a longer, later set.
That would be
So
awesome.
I've been talking with Jazz and Josh about that. So as of 2024, I think we're going to give that a shot.
That would really be awesome.
Where I make it a full show as opposed to like the dinner set. So,
sure.
That would be awesome. You're getting a request. Laura Malone McHenry, McHenry says Chris plays Southbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably happen tonight as well.
And then Donna Thunder wants to know if you know Adam McMahon.
Yeah, I know Adam McMahon. Absolutely.
Talk to
the
me.
blues man.
Talk to me. Go.
Adam McMahon?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just another local dude in the scene that throws down on some serious blues. So if that's what you're into, I'm talking deep blues too. Like he knows his history. He'll play anything from original blues to anything that's come out today. He's the man.
Wow.
Glenn wants to know if you've been up to Montreal or if you're planning on heading to Montreal.
I've not been to Canada since I was a kid, but you never know. Yeah. You never know. This new touring venture could take me a lot of places. So,
what is it? What's the inception of your song that you, when the fight is through?
Yes.
Tell us about. You've told this story before in the air about your friend.
Yeah. So I have a friend who's actually my tattoo artist now, who is a combat vet. Did 8 years between Afghanistan and Iraq back when that was a really prominent thing. And one of his commanders actually wrote a book. I'm completely drawing a blank on the name right now. I think it was called Joker 1 because, it was definitely called Joker 1 because that was the name of their platoon was Joker 1. There was 1 through 5, and that was this particular group of guys. It's written by a guy named Donovan Campbell, who is the superior. They were Marines, and he was in charge. And I read the book. When I found out there was a book, I read the book, which is not normal for me. I'm not a huge book reader, if you can imagine. But I was like, you know what? This is pretty cool. It made me see my friend in a new light, almost as if it wasn't him, because he's a completely different person now. He's the tattoo artist. He's the dude that shows up at my house and hangs out with me. And this was a time before I knew him.
Yeah, wow.
And I read the book, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read this book and write a song based on what I read. And it kind of changed because I also had conversations with my friend who, while I was in the tattoo chair, is when I would have conversations with him, and I would pick little bits of information that he wanted to give. So it started as my wanting to write it mostly about what I read in the book, and then it became more about the conversations I was actually having, and kind of a little bit of a topic change on what I read in the book to what it's like to be a soldier and come back to regular civilization and those struggles. So that's really where the song ended up leading, was more of those struggles. And I'll say his name's Chris Bowen. You should look him up. He's a phenomenal tattoo artist. I mean, he's in Charlestown, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Blows my mind sometimes, the work that he does now as a tattoo artist. And he actually, started apprenticing when he was still a Marine and was in Okinawa, and it all kind of connects. So yeah, it ended up becoming about the conversations that I was having with him. And he actually, after sitting in the chair for a few hours, texted me later one day with like a couple of lines that he said kept running through his head that I actually used in the chorus of the song. So he actually helped write the song,
Which is awesome. That's
these,
just awesome.
These guys aren't, and Raylene, obviously just jump in.
I will.
I know you will. But these guys are not like walking around saying, "Hey, I want to talk about my story. I want to."
No.
So that when you get that info, it's got to go into the noggin and stay in there and bounce around a little bit, make its way onto some paper, and then eventually your guitar strings.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of, in a way, cherished every little bit of information because it's not something you get every day. It's not really something he wants to talk about or anyone really wants to talk about, but probably needs to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
amen to
and that's
that.
why the song kind of morphed from exactly what I was learning in the book to like what he's telling me face to face.
Did you finish the whole song before he heard it, or were you playing a little bit of it and playing it over the phone for him or in person?
No, yeah, he didn't. I don't think he really heard much of what I had going until it was pretty much finished. Other than, like, I didn't even tell him when he texted me the few lines that I used that I was going to use them until probably a few weeks later. Anyways, I was like, hey, just so you know, those few lines that you used, I kind of remorphed them a little bit, but I used the core of what you sent me. So, yeah, I don't think he heard it until it was at least the idea was all there.
You know, I love the song Rooster.
Yeah.
This is right there next to Rooster.
I never even thought of that.
It's right there for me anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if I listen to Rooster, I listen to this right after it, or I listen to this and then I listen.
That's
to
awesome
Rooster.
because I hear and play Rooster, and I'm like, damn, I wish I wrote that song.
Well, but you just wrote like an equivalent to that. Really, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Thank you.
I agree.
This is a
Yes.
song, Raylene, that you and I both have said to each other, Raylene, that we get goosebumps listening to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I appreciate
I
that.
love all your stuff.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a serious song, but there's plenty of cool vibes, relaxed.
I try to split it down the middle. You know, you can't be serious all the time.
Right.
Gotta have a good time too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, Raylene, ask him anything you want to ask him. But I mean, I want to know. I always want to know what's next. What's coming up? When are you coming back to Vermont? Will you be back here this summer?
I'll be back here this winter, actually, I'm sure.
Okay.
Because, like I said, between traveling, this will be home base this year, so I won't be staying in Florida. I will
He's
be going
gonna
to do.
freeze his
I'll be going to do tours
ass
where
off
it's
with
nice,
the rest of us.
and then I'll come suffer for a week or two, and then I'll go back.
A week or two.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm not no, I mean a week or two a month, I'm sure, because the touring thing will only be a couple of weeks at a time or whatever. So yeah, I'll come suffer a couple times this winter.
What kind of reactions do you get from your music? I also want to know what kind of reaction did you get from your buddy when he heard this song? I forgot to ask you that. Let's start with that.
I think he's just super proud in a way. Like he takes a lot of pride in his prior job choice.
Yeah.
As he should, because I mean, if you read the book or you get any stories out of him, he's a badass, like
Straight up.
for real. So I think it's just mostly a pride thing, and honestly, maybe a little bit surprised that anyone, excuse my language, but gave a shit enough to.
Sure.
You know,
Ask or
read the whole book, or
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're headed on 20. This was 15, 20 years ago that he was doing this stuff.
Sure.
So like anyone cares now is
Yeah.
kind of a surprise. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's between pride and being a little bit surprised.
And what kind of reaction do you get from people that hear you perform for the first time, whether it's on the street down in Key West, or whether it's in a bar up here in the North Country where we're all freezing our asses off?
Surprised.
Yeah.
I get a lot of surprise that I put as much into it as I do.
Yeah.
my show's not just an acoustic show, and
No.
not to diminish that by any means. Doing the regular acoustic thing, that has its place and is impressive in its own right, to be able to entertain a crowd with just a guitar and just your voice.
Right.
I don't think I can do that. I think I need all the bells and whistles in the looping and the... Granted, everything is live. Everything I do is live. There's no pre-recorded anything. It's done right in front of you. But yeah, so I guess I get a lot of surprise.
Donna Thunder's got to go see him tonight.
Yeah. Like, holy shit, how's he making all that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I was the first time.
And so that's how I was
saw
when I
heard
went and
you.
saw Rob Benton plays. Holy crap, man. How's he doing all that? And not just doing it all, but well. It's all in sync. It's all live.
Right. It's
crazy.
choreographed, like, literally,
Yeah.
but on the fly.
You got to really know what you're doing.
Just from repetition.
Yeah.
So you not only have to know what you're doing, but you also have to have
Good timing. You got to have great timing. Because when you don't, you notice.
So what if you lay a bad loop? You know it's not bad or it's not tight or whatever. Is it just a click of the switch and you can redo it?
Sometimes it's that easy. Sometimes it's you make the decision for close enough.
Oh no!
Because I mean, you do, because you've layered enough to where if you restart, you're restarting.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're lucky, granted, I use a particular loop that I have a lot of control. I can have 3 or 4 things going at one time, and I can get rid of one. I could stop one, not all of them.
Sure.
But if you've made all 4 of your loops based on a bad beat, all the loops are bad. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be in time when you fix it.
And here's the thing. Let's be honest. Folks that are at a bar or restaurant setting, they've had a couple of drinks, they may not notice this.
Which is where you decide good enough or not.
Aha.
If it's bad, fix it.
Aha.
But if it's like, oh, I noticed that, but the people who are dancing don't stop because they're dancing.
Go
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Go
Keep
with
going.
It.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
You got to prioritize.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But then again, there's also folks that maybe not be drinking very much, and really other musicians who are really dialed in and paying attention.
Yeah.
And like I sit there, Raylene, and I'm like, all right, what's he doing now? Oh, he's dropped. Whoa, wait a minute, he shouldn't be doing that. And then a minute later, I'm like, oh my God, what he just did makes sense now. Coming into now, I hear what he was doing.
Yeah. So it's funny you say like playing in front of other musicians. I actually started my tour, so I'm playing in front of the guy, opening for the guy who inspired me to play the way that I do. I'm kind of shitting my pants a little bit because
I
he's
would be.
not every show, because he's using me to be able to relax before he goes on. But there was a few shows he's right there. He's watching what you're doing. It's like, oh man, and he impresses me every time he picks up a guitar. So like, right, you gotta play.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
gotta
some
play.
serious pressure right
You gotta
there.
zone that out.
Yep. And
man.
that's hard. That's hard when the looping king is standing there watching you loop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I guess,
Opening his show.
Yeah. Right.
and that's the difference with you is literally you are the entire band.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where most bands, they each have their own piece, and that's what
And
they
you can
focus
kind of,
on.
not to say that you can hide a mess up, but it's easier to hide a mess up when there's 4 people. When the expression is you're naked up there.
Yeah.
You are naked up there, and if you are off anywhere, it'll be noticeable. There's, I mean, and we go back to that. Do you fix it? Do you not?
Yeah.
So
Why no full band? It does that. Oh, did you see that big deep breath that he just took?
I
So I
did.
want like
Oh,
okay,
it's a huge
the funny. And I don't really mean this, but I say this to everyone. I get to keep the money, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
mean,
it's
that is
truth.
I mean, that
It's
is
straight up
truth.
truth.
That is truth. I only have to really rely on myself, which is there's some truth to that too.
Oh yes. And you're always early.
I am always ridiculously early. Early.
Prior planning
Also,
prevents piss poor performance.
I literally say that to my wife all the time because
you don't.
I do, because that used to be my dad thing to say, and there are ironically some things my dad used to say to me that I now say because they're funny, and that is one of them. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Is that the 6 P's? Is that what they call it?
Yes. Yeah.
It's the 6 P's.
Yep. But okay, so also aside from keeping all the money and not really having to rely on anyone, there's ever since seeing this one man band thing and seeing really how far you can take it.
Oh yeah.
I'm super interested in that. Like, I don't not want to have a band. I would love to have 3 or 4 guys that really rock their thing with me, and I do that occasionally in Florida. I'll throw together a 3-piece because I know enough people now to where a club wants a band for the night, and I'll just
Sure.
do the songs that I do
Yeah.
and let them play along. You know,
Sure.
not let them, but they'll do their thing, and it usually all works out because any bar down in Florida, especially, is just looking to rock all night long.
Right.
There's people. There's so many people that still haven't discovered the looping musician, and basically what that is you're live producing
Yeah.
your music, adding on different layers, the rhythm and the solo,
And making sure it all works and making sure it's dynamic enough to seem like a song.
Yeah, I mean the foundation has to get layered, but you're basically almost like a cook in the kitchen who's making a recipe for a crowd of people watching you
Right.
add the ingredients and seeing it all come together. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, why is he putting lemon juice in there?" And then afterwards, we're like, "Oh my God, this is absolutely delicious."
It's funny the way you said that because that'll lead me back to the frustration thing we talked about is people still don't get it. Like
Yeah.
they don't understand that one person can rock a big club.
Yeah.
A big club.
Yes.
It's all based on dialing it in right. Like
Yes.
I have just come back from watching my now friend and mentor. One of the places we played, granted, by no means was it sold out because it was more of a festival weekend where people were coming and going. But the venue we were playing holds 7,000 people.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard of Ed Sheeran? Bro can play a football stadium by himself.
Taj Sultana.
Yes. So like this.
Have you seen her?
Yeah, since you've said so. Absolutely. I've not seen her, but I've watched videos and
Since we talked about her?
totally
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
amazing. Amazing.
I mean, stadiums.
Yes. So it's that like the
mentality
the
of it
not
all.
like
Yeah.
oh you're only one person. You don't get it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you're not like I can make the sound be full by
Yes.
myself.
That has to be something that kind of intrinsically kind of festers in you as a musician, in your soul. You have to have a brain that's split into so many different categories. You talk about multitasking.
Yeah.
My God. And getting in the zone and just focusing in on your music and building the layers.
And knowing how to make it sound good, because like you can do the thing that I do, but you have to know how to make it sound full, because if you don't, it's not gonna sound good.
Right.
It's gonna sound pingy and hollow and weird, but you have to know how to add the right amount of bass and you have to know use your subwoofers. Use
Sure.
a subwoofer for especially as a one-man thing because it'll sound super thin
Right.
if you don't add
Right.
some low end in there, but don't add so much low end that it's killing your top end.
Sure.
You want everything to ring nicely. You want it all when you're making those layers to layer. You don't want
Right.
it to be a hot mess.
Right.
You do covers, but you also write your own music. Do you have time to write? Do you have time?
Not
to be
as much as I'd like,
creative.
but I'd like to think that as I continue to move forward and do bigger and better things, that maybe I'm in the right spot. Like I've not stopped writing. As like I said, this last song, When the Fight Is Through, came out in April. I have another one. So I mean, I'm not doing it as much as I'd like to, but I also, as long as I am putting a thought to it every once in a while and putting something out, I'm okay with that because I'm still doing these awesome things, mostly based on my cover show.
There's lots of different gigs. There's the bar gig where you've got people that are eating and drinking and talking and laughing, and you have the other gig where you're more of a performance of a show where you have a sit down audience that is there to really listen, not just to hear the music, but to listen lyrically to your craft and maybe be more dialed into your original songs and what they're saying, the messages behind them. Which gig do you prefer? And why?
I'll give an odd answer, and I like the ones that are a mix of both. Because there are a lot that are a mix of both, where at the end of the day, it's Friday night.
Yeah.
People are there to party
Sure.
and let loose. But also at those gigs, do I have the people who are play Southbound?
Yeah, right.
So-
we've already had that this
Right.
morning.
So, yeah, the answer is I like the ones that people are having a good time, and if they're in front of the stage and rocking with you, that's great. But if they're just kind of hanging out and you get that person that play this original, that's perfect.
Right.
That's perfect.
Here
Well,
you are, right here.
I always have a fabulous time when I go over to Gusto's.
Here's a little taste
When you're playing.
of you at Gusto's right here. And you shot this, Raylene?
I did. Well, last time he was here on a Friday.
You're so well versed, man. It's like you can do the solos, you can do the chords, you've got the rhythm, you've got everything in there, dude. That's remarkable.
It has been a lot of work. I have been playing and kind of focusing on playing well since I have picked up each instrument. Drums was my first instrument when I was a small kid, and I've kind of grown out of playing the drums a little bit, but you never lose your rhythm.
Do you have a kit at home?
I don't anymore. I don't anymore. I probably should. But also I don't really know when I would play it because I'm so doing what it is that I do now all the time. The only time, funny enough, the only time I play drums is if I haven't found a drummer to record my original,
Sure.
I will play. But it's like, so the last one I did was When the Fight Was Through. I'm playing drums on that song as well. And I
Wow.
hadn't played drums since, or before that, and I don't know how long. So I literally went in like, do I even remember how to do this? And then just played the song.
Chris Powers is our guest this morning on this 17th of November. He's going to be performing tonight at Gusto's right here in the Granite City. I want to ask you about collaborations. Do you get, you must get a lot of people, assholes like me, who come up and say, you ought to record sometime with so-and-so and so-and-so. Like, I've even done that to you a few times. You must get that a lot.
Not as much as you'd think. I get a
There's
lot.
not as many assholes out there as you, Jamie.
No, I didn't say that. I get more like, hey, we should jam sometime,
Yeah.
which I kind of take with a grain of salt because I do get that a lot. And you get that from a lot of people who will never call you.
Yeah.
Or
Interesting.
like they kind of want to hang out on a Saturday afternoon and jam, which is
Yeah.
cool because I used to do that.
Sure, sure.
But I'm probably playing on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, right.
I'm probably driving to where I'm playing on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work out as much as you'd like to be able to powwow and jam and meet new people.
Sure.
But I also do occasionally like, hey, I've got my harmonicas in the car.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's up to you whether you want to let that slide or not, because those kind of things, unfortunately, sometimes can crash and burn.
Yeah, right.
And do you really want to do that
Yes.
to yourself? I have to think about that because I don't mean to be that.
Right.
Like, but
Of course.
I'm showing my face, man.
Yeah.
It's my head.
Yes. Right.
So, and don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of times where you take that chance and someone
Yeah.
blows you away. And It's
Yeah.
like, hey, all right, cool,
Yeah.
let's keep in touch.
You always have to have grace under pressure, though.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah. So
Which
you
is a
have
whole
to-
nother talent, bro.
That's a tough one too. It's a tough one. So, but yeah, I mean, I do. So, but your question was more of collaborations. I honestly don't like. I actually asked to collaborate a lot more. So, like my first album, almost every song has someone from this local Vermont, New Hampshire music scene on it. So I did a lot of that, and then these last couple of recordings that I did, granted, I worked with a friend in Florida who has a studio in his house to work on this last song that's about to come out. He's playing drums on it. But yeah, I don't get a lot of, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? I would like to because, example, the guys that I go out on the road with, it's mostly Rob Benton, but his friend K-Rush, who's a freestyle rapper, they met in Key West when they both first were there, and now their duo is the Key West Kings, and they go out and K-Rush will blow your mind in the middle of a cover that we all know with a freestyle rap.
Interesting.
It's crazy. So as you can imagine, with the one-man band, the drums, the whole thing, and then you got this kid who can rap on top
Right,
of that.
that all of a sudden.
Down on the beach,
Yeah.
that's huge.
I'm sure.
I mean, not just on the beach, they tour the country, but especially when they come back to Key West or something like that, where they first started, it's huge and impressive.
I'm sure.
We're showing a picture right now of those two boys
Yep.
on stage.
That's the Key West Amphitheater right there. That was a great show. It was,
It's pretty awesome.
yeah, it was a good night.
Any favorites? Like, what is your favorite cover to do live? And then do you have a favorite of your own that you do?
Favorite cover. When I was younger, I was super rock, heavy metal. And I even into what I do now have occasionally like held off on play Morgan Wallen. I held off on that for a long time until I started realizing literally playing Morgan Wallen makes me more money. So like I'll do a little bit of some mashups, but I kind of like this. I'll keep using his name because he's the example. But if you rock up some of these Morgan Wallen songs, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. They make people sing. They make people dance because it's what's popular right now. I can't hate on that. That's
No,
and
definitely
then
not.
I guess my favorite will go back to when people just yell it out. Play an original. Play this original. Play that. That's my favorite one. Whatever
Yeah.
one they want me to
Whatever
play, that's
then.
my favorite one.
Yep. Yep.
The song Southbound. What's the deal with that? You were driving. You were headed south.
I was about to actually. I had wrote the song. It was late summer. Ironically, you're staring down the barrel of winter about to hit again.
Yep.
And it was the year before, or the first year I was about to go to Florida, which now is 5 years ago. I'm about to do my 5th year down there. So I was just thinking of like how much I'm dreading winter coming. Thank God I'm going somewhere nice this winter.
Yep.
And that's kind of where that started.
And you just came off the summer from hell because most of your gigs are outside. And we know that Mother Nature was a total bitch this summer.
Yes.
And that things were not easy. You did not have an easy summer here.
Not this year. I had it better than a lot of my friends that do what I do. It was rough. Just rain cancellation after rain cancellation. There's no second option to move inside. Some people took it really hard. I got really lucky. I'm also crazy, and it better torrentially downpour before I stop playing.
You will.
Yeah.
Really? What about damage to the guitar and your instruments?
I'll bitch about that on social media after.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not. I'll put trash bags over my gear if
I've seen it. Raylene and I have.
Don't get me wrong. If it's raining, we're done. But if it's like sprinkling and it could go either way, I'll keep playing. Because if people are gonna stand outside here and drink, I'm gonna stand here and play.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been in a couple.
Yeah, some people love to dance in the rain.
I've been in a couple of situations where, like, boy, this could get really ugly as far as electricity, but
Yeah,
everyone's having a good time.
You
Right.
got some money on the floor there in front of your feet, bro.
Yeah, I have what I call oh shit tarps.
Oh.
So if it gets ugly, I lay those out, and we hopefully wait for it to stop raining. Don't get me wrong, I've had a couple of times where I have been pretty severely washed out and had to go home and put everything under a fan and under a hair dryer and wait till tomorrow to plug it in because it needs to dry out.
Wow.
I've been there this year, but they
Wow.
also, if like I said, if they're gonna stand there and drink and dance, I'm gonna play. So
Yeah, that's pretty, hardcore right there. You're not giving in.
no.
Yeah. Well, we love you. And
I love
can't
being
wait
here. I
to
love
see
you guys, too.
tonight and 6 to 8 over at Gusto's.
You know it.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Can we go out with when the fight is through?
Please.
Why not?
I appreciate
Let's
it.
do it. I think we've done this once before, but
Who cares? We can do it again.
I just love this song.
We
It
can do
just
what we want.
it gives me goosebumps. When I listen to this, I'm like, two things. I can't believe I know that dude, and secondly, I can't believe that he wrote that. That's just, it's so impressive.
I appreciate it.
Will you do this song tonight at
Yeah, I can do this song
at
tonight.
Gusto's?
Why not?
All right.
Absolutely.
6 o'clock is when he makes his way up on stage at Gusto's. Come on out tonight, folks, and enjoy. Chris Powers, our guest this morning on Aired Out. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Been a long damn way from home for far too long. I won't forget what it's like to always be on the run. Yet I'm not so sure how I'll explain my love. struggle and the pain. How I just can't seem to find my place in a home that I fought so hard to keep safe, to keep safe. 'Cause I still welcome the sleepless nights, just thinking about the wrongs until they weigh all the rights. The lost, the town's never-ending fear. Someday dry our brother's tears. Tell me what's a soldier to do when the fight is through? I know a part of me is never coming home, 'cause this place is gonna take it a little piece of my soul. Yeah, I remember all the times we spent just praying we never see the morning sun. Wondering how we would live with all the things that we had seen and done, that we've done. 'Cause I still welcome the sleepless nights, just thinking about the wrongs until they weigh all the rights. The lost, the town's never-ending fear. Someday dry our brother's tears. Tell me what's a soldier to do when the fight is through? I still welcome sleepless nights, just thinking about the wrongs and could we have made them right. The lost, the town's never-ending fear. Someday dry our brother's tears. Tell me what's a soldier to do when the fight is